Hey y'all. Yeah. How y'all doing? Now y'all know I had to upload this video for y'all, right? Because I know we wasn't gonna meet up right now, but we're gonna I upload a video for y'all on Karmelo Anthony case. Now his parents for the first time is gonna speak out, okay, at this conference, okay. Um they're gonna speak with the activists is gonna speak as well. Now Carmelo Anthony is the young man that allegedly accused stabbing another Austin Metcalf at a track meet, y'all. So before we get started and everything, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video. But do this, we got to get rid of the flies. Close that screen door and stop letting all them flies up in here. Yeah. Okay. So we shouldn't have no problem. So I'm gonna turn the information over to you all, and then at the end I get my commentary.
Another Frisco ISD student, Austin Metcalf, at a track meet earlier this month. This is a case that has garnered a lot of attention, not only in our area but around the country. So this is, again, for the first time that we're actually going to hear from Anthony's parents. His father actually testified in a bond hearing earlier this week, but this will be the first time that we're actually hearing his parents address the media. You can see there on your screen that there's a podium set up, there's media in this room, a big show out to be able to, actually hear from these parents who say that they want to set the record straight. The Next Generation Action Network in Dallas is actually hosting this press conference. And the president of that organization says that the family really wants to address what he called the wave of falsehoods in this case. It's been weeks since this happened, and again, lots of conversation about this case on social media, not just in North Texas, but all over the country. And, earlier this week when there was a bond hearing for Anthony, who had been in jail up until that point, his father did testify. You can see him there on your screen. This is video of him leaving that bond hearing after a judge made the decision to lower his bond from $1 million to $250,000. Anthony is able to be home at this time, but he does have to wear an ankle monitor. He has to ask for permission to leave his home. He is facing a murder charge in this case. And according to the affidavit that was released from the original arrest, Anthony told police that he did stab Metcalf, but he said he did it out of self-defense. Again, this is video of him leaving that bond hearing on Monday. His father actually testified at this hearing, and we are just moments away from hearing from both of his parents for the first time, who are going to address the media and from their point of view, tell their truth in this case. There's been a lot of speculation online about this case, a lot of conversation about this. And so the Next Generation Action Network is hosting these parents who say that they want to tell their side of the story.
There you have the setup with the next generation. They are going to speak. And the parents, I'm glad that the father is speaking, because the way y'all putting that misinformation out there, it's ridiculous.
He said no. They said they were going to call DPD to remedy the situation, have Jeff Metcalf leave, because there's, according to Next Generation, they are not going to have both families here in the same location at the same time. They said there's a court order that says that. We've been looking through some of our documents. I don't think there's anything that says that per se. Now there is some language that says Karmelo Anthony cannot have any connection with the Metcalf family in any way. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on here. Still a very fluid situation. Again, a delay here. It's supposed to start at 11 o'clock. It is now after 11:30. We'll see what ends up precipitating here.
Obviously very heightened when you have this situation and both families in the same room when they haven't had this before. So that is understandable. Okay, well, listen, we'll check back in with you. We know you're talking to people.
WFA Plus, I'm Chris Sadeghi, and we are going to take you inside the hearing, the bond hearing for Karmelo Anthony that happened on Monday morning. There's a lot of public interest on this case. There were no cameras allowed inside the courtroom. So joining me are Jobin Paniker and Brittany Moncrief. The three of us were inside that courtroom, and we're here to really take you through what was said, what you were not able to see and hear because of the ban on cameras. We are going to take you from before the hearing to everything that happened during, and then everything that happened after, and then we have the raw interviews with the DA, the defense attorney, and also the NAACP. I want to start before the hearing. Jobin, you cover Collin County a lot. You've covered a lot of cases at that courthouse. Can you compare the security detail for yesterday's hearing compared to others that you've covered?
So I've been covering Collin County for 12 years, covered some high-profile cases in Collin County, now court trials in Collin County. We had the Grace Ford murder case, toddler who was killed. We had Christina Morris, first missing, then later found dead, that murder case. And then the Billy Shamirmir case, that also had some Collin County connections as well. So this was a bond hearing, and normally bond hearings happen within minutes. And it's usually a stack of papers, and the judge goes through them and says, bond approved for this amount, and they go through a lot of them all on Monday, and they happen, like I said, within minutes. This was not the case, right? We had a setup, we had a media plan. They had a plan for all the media to get there early. There was security. There were 8 to 10 officers, 8 to 10 deputies from the Collin County Sheriff's Department. There, we had to go through 2 sets of metal detectors to get into this bond hearing. Very unlike what I normally see.
Yeah, and Brittany, the two families, the Metcalf family and the Anthony family, one thing I observed is the deputies that were there that Jobin mentioned, they had a plan to make sure the families were on different sides of the courtroom and also leaving the courtroom when it was done. One went after the other to prevent any kind of conflict.
Absolutely. They had pretty much what seemed like a pretty strict schedule. Even when we were waiting in the lobby area right outside the courtroom, we saw Anthony's family be escorted into a side room. And around 8:30 is when they decided to let media in, and then at exactly like 8:40, that's when the family started to go in. And even when we went into the courtroom, we were filed in one by one, and they made sure each seat was filled, media in the back. We sat right behind Metcalf's family, and then on the opposite side was Anthony's family, the Anthony family.
So one
approach and get started in a few minutes. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
The gentleman that you just saw there on your screen at the podium is Dominique Alexander. He is the president of the Next Generation Action Network. This is the advocacy group that is actually hosting a press conference for the parents of Karmelo Anthony. They've been releasing statements for the family.
As we get started, so we can put some house rules together. If we can swing over here and swing across the wall, we have security that are here in the building. We have a blended of Dallas Police Department and security for the Next Generation Action Network. Let me make this very clear because I say this unapologetically. The Next Generation Action Network has never played with the safety and security of anything. We don't play those type of games, all right? We like to, whenever we're doing a protest or anything, everybody in the media know we don't play when it comes to safety and security. So we're going to ask one time forward, and ask you to slide over just one time. We're not going to ask anybody something twice, okay? I will make sure that the safety of this family is ensured. It won't happen on my watch. I just want you to know so that you can quote it. If we have to ask more than once, just know that's coming at the direction of me. You can quote me on that, all right?
But I heard that. Y'all better move that stuff over. Move your equipment over. Y'all, the press conference is late. Is because Metcalf's father came, and he don't want both of them there at the same time. So he has his reason for doing that, and I believe he can do that. Alexander is he who I'm speaking of. So that's the part of the delay is Metcalf shouldn't even be there because it's not his conference, okay? So that's to keep trouble down, y'all. Let me see, can I skip it?
If you take a look at your your screen now, what you are looking at is video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of the co-working space where the Next Gen Connection Network's offices by Dallas Police. You see that there. Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses with the shirt, is being escorted out. He's the father of Austin Metcalf, who was the teenager who was stabbed and killed in traffic 2 years ago. He is being asked to be escorted out of the press conference that is being held where parents of the child who's accused of killing Metcalf's child are expected to speak. You can see there he's shaking hands with officers. He was asked to leave. That press conference is starting now. Here's Anthony's family.
Okay, I'm gonna spread this across y'all before I get started. Just make sure you let me know if any one of your cameras are. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. We all good? We all good? Okay. All right. I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note. A deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I would not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting non-stop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today, I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are four critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go. Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime.
Thank you.
Any of the media could have verified this. But we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, and private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative.
That's right.
The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media and in these news outlets that I've never heard before could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud. All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to 11,000.
Wow.
So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Karmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the family and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Karmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice and a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more and final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Karmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Karmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate. Okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Karmelo Anthony from school
What?
before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Karmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the record, the that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the fourth, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, we cannot release or talk about minors.
Right.
So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox. Do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you. Okay? So I'm telling the world. Everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody. Unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what was going to happen to you. Okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed Tatiana Jefferson, Karmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judd in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 Karmelo Anthony be entitled, a child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home. Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Karmelo Anthony's due process, this is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know. I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't